Is it just me or is it getting quicker?
Man, bring it on. What'd you say? Oh my gosh. All right. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Dude, welcome to episode 122 of the Drag Driver Pete Show presented by Summit Racing. Tonight, I know the title says All Things Drag Week, but we've got a lot of Drag Week stuff we're going to cover with Mr. Mike Galimi that'll be on here in just a few minutes. We kind of shuffled the show around a little bit. So hopefully he jumps backstage here momentarily. So somebody tag him in the comments for us if you don't mind. We figured we'd start the show with him. But then we're also going to talk about Drop the Hammer, North Carolina. We're going to talk about Outlaw Armageddon, No Prep Dragon Drive. And we're going to talk about Rocky Mountain Race Weekend. Plus, Redwood Rally's coming up. So we're going to talk a little bit about that as well. Mr. Eric White, hit the intro. Let's do it.
All right, let's go.
Dude, those cartoon heads at the end are hilarious.
I love it. Is it just me or is it crazy to think 122 episodes now?
Dude, and we did stuff before that, and that's just the show, right? So I think in the last year we put together for our sponsor pack, I think it was like 300 and something live streams we did between events and here, obviously, and then the news and all that kind of stuff. I mean, dude, I bet we do 200 or 300 a year minimum. It's crazy.
It is kind of crazy to think for sure.
Yeah, and you start looking back, and that's one thing I want to start leaning on too is like, what did we talk about a year ago? What did we talk about on episode like 22? We go back
Mhm.
100 episodes. What were we talking about then? I'm sure it was probably about events that are coming up and some racer stuff. One thing I will tell folks, and this is something I've talked about, is more interviews, man. I think I want to have more people on, less stats on the show necessarily. Maybe leave that for the news on the weekends, but definitely more conversations, man. There's so many people that are within the community that we need to talk to. So
Yeah.
many stories. So,
Yeah.
anyways, well, guys, again, welcome to episode 122 of the Drag Driver Pete Show, presented by Summit Racing. My name's Mike Narks. I'm the host of this show that you're watching here, and the news that happens on Saturdays. And my right hand man, Mr. Eric White, over here, the busiest guy I think in Drag and Drive right now, bro. You are an animal.
I've been editing a lot of photos. I've been dropping daily albums for about a week now. Tonight, I have not dropped one yet, but I'll probably drop it once we get done with the show. But I do have photos prepped for today. And I told you before the show, but I've already got day one of the circuit edited. So as soon as Havlicks finishes up posting, we will roll right into the circuit. So we've got things to post for quite some time, so it's exciting. And while day one is dropping, I'll be working on day two, and we'll just
And
keep rolling.
then day 3, and then 6 summer.
Yep, days 1 through 5. So I'm about maybe halfway done now,
Yeah,
and these
it's
these were from June. It's September.
well, and man, that's one of the toughest things about this, right? So we are so busy with events that I fall into this all the time. Like if I don't put something out in the next days after that, dude, it's hard for me to get back in the middle of it and get those stories and all that stuff done. So man, good job on you to do that. I did see Josh Rich in here saying miss y'all this past weekend. Man, I'm telling you, I missed you guys too. It was tough to see all the cool stuff. Um, Rocky Mountain Race Weekend, dropped the hammer in North Carolina, all the stuff that was going on this last weekend with Drag and Drive. And then I'm up there doing pro mod stuff. Did get to see some of my Drag and Drive friends. Bryant Goldstone brought out the Corvette, made a couple passes. We're going to talk about that a little bit with Mike Galimi here in a few minutes, and all that stuff. I mean, dude, it was a crazy time. That was for sure.
Yeah,
Well,
with the photos and stuff for us, I think it almost helps a little bit because there's a little bit of a mad rush right after the event of all the photographers posting photos. So I do think for us it's a little bit nice because our photos come at a time where there's not a bunch of other photos from that event, and you kind of get that little bit of a break, and then you get to get overwhelmed with all the photos once again.
Well, and I think that's good. One thing that's great about dropping, especially like the circuit stuff, is we just dropped dates a couple weeks ago, so it'll kind of reignite all of that. Oh man, how much fun was that? Oh, there's a photo of me doing whatever, and so people will get excited again because we got that coming up in it's 9 months.
Oh boy, and
Bring it
PRI
on,
is
buddy.
right around the corner, and we
Oh
still have
man,
so much to do for that too. So
dude, did you
this
see
is a
there's like
never
there was a count the other day. It was like less
100
than
days.
87. Yeah. God.
Yeah, I saw one recently that said 100 days, and I was like, man, we're already down less than 100 days.
Yeah, big shout out to Travis Wise, Revved Up Laserworks. He's already working on trophies and stuff. We got those ordered the other day. It's gonna be crazy, man. The Dragon Drive Award. Anyways, listen, we got to get into this. We're going to talk about that in a minute. We got to get into this. So, guys, listen. Thank you for being our race car friends. Thank you for being here. Hit the share button, please. If you're not following us here, you need to be doing that. Wherever you're watching this, hit the follow button. But then hit that share button. Let everybody know you're watching this tonight. We're got a ton of fun stuff. And thank you so much to our sponsors. Oh man, this doesn't have AFCO Racing products on it. What the heck? How did I miss that? Anyways, thank you so much to everybody that makes this possible, that makes the trip to Drag Week next week possible. So, guys, if you're doing some shopping, hit these guys up: Summit Racing, Deechworks, Molly Motorsports, Driven Racing Oil, Howard's Cams, J-Wire Solutions, AFCO Racing Products, Performer Built Transmissions, who we're going to get to hang out with, Car Chains 3D, WAF Racing, Power Tube TV, Sweet Patina, and Racing Junk Classifieds. If you are shopping, please hit those guys up and see if they got something that would work for you. And I don't know if you know this or not, but Summit Racing Speed Legacy began in 1968 as a one-man startup and is now the world speed shop with 4 facilities and 200 plus catalog editions. They fuel your passion, save you money, deliver fast, and offer top-notch customer service for more than 1,500 brands. Make sure to download the Summit Racing mobile app for easy access to speed parts. You can find them on Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and on the On All Cylinders podcast for all automotive stuff. From humble origins to the social media lane, Summit Racing stands by your need for speed. Find everything at summitracing.com. Fun story for the Summit story this week. We're going to get to well, not we. Gosh, Tim are going to get to hang out with Alex and Kevin. They're working the Summit truck at Drag Week, so that'll be kind of cool. Most of the time, if you're going to be looking for me, that's what I'm going to call home base. So for the folks that are going to be at Drag Week, you can find me on the starting line, you can find me in the pits, or you can find me at the Summit truck. That's probably the 3 places that I will be most of the week. Tim and I have rented a car. I pick up the decals tomorrow, so you'll see Drag Driver Pete on it like we did with the Camry last year.
Yep, it was a Camry.
We've got a little SUV, and so we're going to throw stickers on there, and you'll be able to find us on that at some of the route stops and things like that. And then my plan is to visit with Tommy and Jim every day, obviously, to follow along their story within the S10 and stuff like that. One thing that Tommy is doing, I'm not going to spoil his surprise, but it's going to be really, really cool, and it will make for a great daily catch up, I guess we'll probably say, with him every day and what he's got going on with the truck and himself and the drive and all that kind of stuff. So it's gonna be really cool. I'm excited to follow along with their journey. This is like their 6th or 7th Dragon Drive, I think, something like that. Him and Jim. So they should have this pretty worked out. But it'll be kind of cool. So hopefully you guys can come over and see us at the Summit truck.
I'm definitely jealous.
Yeah.
Very jealous.
I'm excited. And listen, I don't have any. We're not. I'm gonna throw $100 in my pocket, and whoever the first 5 people that I see wearing Drag Driver Pete merch are going to get one of them 20s. That's what I'll do. And the little Race Car Friends decal that you can't buy, that you can only get if you have purchased stuff from us in the past. So, and those go out tomorrow too for all the ones that missed the parking lot beer shirts. Those decals weren't here yet, so they did not get in the bag. So those are going out tomorrow. You'll get those in an envelope. So, Drag Drive Repeat updates, sir. Tell us what you got going on.
Well, kind of mentioned all the pictures we've been uploading. Havlic's stuff should be wrapped up, I would say, in the next couple days. And then we're going to roll right into the circuit stuff. And then, like I said, we'll roll the circuit stuff as long as that goes. I've been breaking down the posts. They're still broken down by event by day, but the uploads have been kind of smaller so that you guys don't have to scroll through 157 photos. Been trying to keep it down to 80 to 100, which is still a lot, but it's definitely less. So it'll be probably 3 or 4 days of the circuit day 1, and then that'll give me time to get into the circuit day 2. And like you mentioned, we'll do 3 days of the circuit, and then we'll jump into 6 summer. So we will be posting photos for a while, because while that's going on, you guys are going to be getting photos at Drag Week. So then that stuff will be rolling in too. So lots and lots of pictures coming from us.
Yeah. Lots of pictures is an understatement of what we've got going on this year. It's pretty awesome to be able to do that. And then also, I want to remind you guys, I leave Friday morning. I will have the shirts with me, but I'm not shipping them while I'm on the road. Okay, I'm not messing with that. I'm not doing any of that. So if you don't have your order in tomorrow, Thursday, 9/11 by 2 p.m., you're SOL, because we're going to sell out the rest of what I have in stock here while we're on Drag Week. I guarantee the parking lot beer shirts is flying off the shelf. We made a post yesterday reminding everybody, hey, get it in now, and had a bunch of orders after that. So it's pretty awesome.
Did you get my package sent out yet, or what?
It's on the table. I was supposed to take it with me when I picked up my kid today, and I pulled back in the house and walked in the door and was like, because there's 6 others on there too. So sorry, y'all. Listen, I'm not good at shipping stuff. I can label it, package it, all that kind of stuff. It's when I go to pick up the kid and I'm late and I'm running out of the house and I'm like, shit. That's the way it goes sometimes, though, right? All right. Well, let's get into this. If you want to read the Molly stuff, we'll bring in Mike Galimi after this.
All right. Attention racers and high performance enthusiasts, are you ready to start your next engine build? If so, there is no better time than right now to check out Molly Motorsports all-in-one Power Pack piston kits. With over 1,200 applications, these kits come complete with pistons, rings, wrist pins, and clips, all designed to work together. Visit mollymotorsports.com for more details. And for all of our podcast listeners, Molly is spelled M-A-H-L-E.
Yep, 100%. Well, I'm going to take these away, and we're going to bring in Mr. Mike Galimi, the man with the plan. Dude.
I don't know about a plan, winging it maybe.
No. Now we know that. Listen, if y'all don't know, Mike Galimi's he's kind of cool, especially as we lead into this next week, dude. I appreciate you taking the time tonight, just right out of the gate. I know you guys are probably hours of phone calls these days leading up to Drag Week. So if folks don't know, kind of give them just a brief overview of what you do, and we'll get into this.
I am the network director for Hot Rod Network, which includes Hot Rod Magazine, all of the events, website, social, and just about everything that revolves around the brand. They call it network director, but in the old days it would have been just editorial director. So we're getting ready for Drag Week next week. It's been busy. I always say it. I've got the easy part at this point. I just show up. It's the event team that's kind of scrambling a little bit to make sure everything's perfect. But it should be a good one.
Yeah, I can't imagine that. I know what we go through with the circuit, and those last few days, there's so many people emailing and messaging you and texting you. Somehow they find your phone number and call you and all that kind of stuff. Going to be a huge one, man. 20th anniversary, I guess we would call it. I mean, last year was the 20th running. Listen, it's going to be a big deal. I want people to understand this is a big one.
Yeah, no, it should be good. It's 20 years of Drag Week. 2005 was the start of it, and yeah, if you're in the event business, you push those anniversaries a little bit. So the 20th running was last year, and this is 20 years this year.
Yep.
So it's always a joke everywhere I've ever worked. It's always been like, oh, the 5th anniversary or the 10th anniversary. And it's like, how's that math work? But yeah, no, it should be a good one. I think we're in a great area. I think the tracks are going to be really, really, really good for the racers. A couple of new ones that we haven't hit before, which I always enjoy mixing it up and adding into it. And yeah, no, it should be good. The weather is looking favorable.
Man, I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah.
How about 79 is the highest of the week, and then 50s and 60s at night.
Yeah, I always feel like though, the last few years at least, we've had you know, these low highs going into it, but it always ends up being 90 at some point.
Yeah, well, that's the way it goes, and that's just at Rising Sun, which I think is what, Cecil County or something like that.
Mhm.
So I'm sure the whole area will be, around that area, around that temp. But I want to talk about racers first because
Okay.
there's some hitters coming, and the first one up, Mr. Ned Dunphy here, dude. This car, quickest day one pass and quickest day two pass, I think in drag week history, and then
Um,
sadly couldn't make it after that.
yeah,
The quickest day
I'd have to
two.
look back. You might be right that it was the quickest opening days. Lutz in what was it, 2016,
Mhm.
was when he set the record, and I have
Yep.
to go back and look at those numbers. But
Yeah, I was
yeah,
gonna
I
say,
mean, look,
people have
it's
gone faster, but not early in the week. Now we just got to get this guy to finish.
yeah, and that's that's Ned and I chatted for a little bit.
Mhm.
Over the last few weeks, we just had a story hit on hotrod.com on
Yep.
him, and he's been working really hard on that drivability side of it. Cooling capacity, and you can see he's got those small little radiators in the front, but he's increased cooling capacity. They've worked on keeping oil temperature under control, which the valve train absolutely hates. If you remember last year, he snapped the camshaft.
Mhm.
So they've been working on a lot of little things for that drivability side, and it just shows, right? It's so easy to make power, but get to live for the week, and that's always been the challenge.
Well, and I think that's what's great about Drag and Drive. Like the work I do with Pro Mods, those guys are worried about 660 feet at a time. They don't even drive it to the
Yeah.
lanes, nothing, right? These guys are 1,000 miles. What are we, nearly 700 miles this year, 660 or something like that. Uh, it's gonna be crazy, dude. And this car is like that next level. It's weird to see that next generation of car coming. There's so
Yeah.
many cars that are really, really, really fast.
It's he has the motivation and the passion for it, and um, it's good to see. But it also shows that even we're 20 years or 21 years into this, and you're still figuring it out, right?
Hmm.
There's still some question marks. I know even today, with combinations that so many people have had, it's in small block stuff. It's just kind of a question mark on cam profiles and springs and just a lot of little things, and that's still the fun that I enjoy about the drag and drive stuff is we're still figuring it out. There's still stuff to learn and to grow into.
Well, and just how much that's helped regular racers. Like to get a car to live on the street like we do, and then also be fast. So yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's huge, man. I love it. I love it. So yeah, Ned Dunphy coming. You saw him in there making comments. Thanks for the love. Yeah, the article was great, man. I don't remember the author on it, but looked,
Andrew Wolf.
yeah, yeah. Dude
Yeah.
does a great job.
Yes. Yeah. Excellent writer.
Yep. And then next up, sorry, I thought the shot here on the right was pretty awesome when he got it, and then in the state it's in now, it's pretty crazy
A
to think
little
that
different.
that car is coming that far. And then this shot here, Bryant Goldstone has both motors out of both cars, and this was shot, from what I understand earlier today, talking to Jeff, and then Brian Robbins just 2 nights ago.
Yeah. No. I feel like these guys are used to this game of sliding it in. I saw the same post earlier, just before I signed on here, and they know that car in and out. So
Yeah.
even though they've had to make some changes on the Javelin, I feel like they're still they're so damn consistent.
Yeah.
That's a tough team, and the new car. I think we all want to see the new car.
Hmm.
Hopefully, they can get that together and bring that and give that a shot, maybe in testing and see if it works. But
Yeah, I would love that. They did some testing with it at Martin with the Midwest Drag Race Series, and the second full pass, like the first pass, he couldn't get the bump right. Second pass, he went out about 100 feet, but the third pass, he really left with great intentions and would go forward to the 60, which was just a hair off of his PB in the Javelin ever, and it was his
Right.
second full throttle time to leave the line. So pretty crazy. That car's going to be very, very, very fast.
Oh yeah, I mean it's lighter, better car. I mean
Mhm.
there's two extremely sharp people who run it at the races. They got a great group behind them back home.
Yeah.
So I mean they'll be a force to beat with that car when it's finished.
Yeah, I'm ready to see it, and it just it being there and driving it. They drove it to the lanes each time, drove
Yeah.
it back to the pits each time, all that kind of stuff. So,
It's a street
uh,
car, man.
yeah, right. Got a license plate on it, man. They didn't race. We were trying to talk them into racing Top Sportsman, but they had an oiling issue. I think that's probably why the motor's out now, just trying to get it fixed. And man, I was really looking forward to some street car action going on there up against some real deal Top Sportsman cars and see all that stuff.
Yeah, right. Larson at a national event, right? Remember when he won Top Sportsman and he drove the car there?
Yep. Yeah, dude, it's so cool, man. There's nothing cooler than that. That is for sure.
Yeah.
Who else do I have in here? Eric, what else we got? Oh, speaking
Larry
of,
Larson.
yeah. Yeah, so this shirt just was posted today or yesterday, and the only reason I'm bringing it up is because we've heard rumors about him being here. We hope he is. Fingers crossed. I think it'd be awesome to have him back in the S10. But I thought the shirt drop was a pretty interesting timing as we lead into right up to Drag Week, and it's got the S10 and the of course, Drag Week, historical Drag Week Nova in it and things like that. So I hope we see that guy there.
No, it would be great. I know, we had that great interview with him this past winter.
Mhm.
And he has that Visner engine, and I don't know. I mean, unless he snuck out and went testing when nobody knew, I think someone somewhere would have heard of him testing because
Mhm.
he was pretty adamant that he wanted to make laps in the car, but also drive it
Yeah.
quite a bit and then take the engine apart, make sure everything was fine and put it back together. It's always fun to see Larry.
Mhm.
Whether it's at a bar at PRI show late at night or at the drag strip. So anytime we get to see Larry, it's always a bonus.
Yeah. Yeah. Fingers crossed. Larry, come on, buddy. We're ready for you. Um, well, let's talk about routes and all that kind of cool stuff.
Okay.
What 20th running, 20th anniversary. Um, the routes look great. It is a little shorter this year, but I want people to understand, like, we did this with Midwest Drags earlier, and you can be in traffic for 3 or 4 hours. It may
Yeah.
be shorter
There's
mileage, but it's probably
yeah,
a lot of time in the car.
yeah. I think when you look at the area of the country combined with the style of roads, also, it's not flat plain roads where you're just you know 20 miles straight.
Mhm.
There's going to be a lot of turning. There's going to be a lot of driving. There's, like you said, there's going to be traffic around those areas. So time wise, in a little bit different drive, yeah, I think it's going to be good. It's going to prove you have a street car. Have there been longer? Absolutely. But I don't think it being shorter than some other years is going to diminish the quality of the drive.
Yeah. No, I agree 100%. There's going to be a lot of really cool sites on there too, I would think.
Yeah, yeah, I mean, people were texting instantly when I dropped it of, oh, check out this place, check out that place. We thought we had a good little legendary cheesesteak place that my friend Bill Toomas had suggested, but it turns out it's closed on Tuesday when we'll be driving by. So yeah, I know I'm gonna bum myself.
Dang.
But yeah, no, I think we've got some really good stops. And there's people, I think we had a lot of response, but I also on the Facebook page, I do see a lot of people offering shops and space, more so than I think in years past.
Yeah, I think that's
Well,
definitely growing.
Yeah, well, let's talk a little bit about the route stops. So, what route stops do you guys have planned?
The first one is actually like an IMSA racing / supercar place. Pretty cool. Large area for people to pull into, be easy. They'll give some shop tours. I think they're more about selling cars right now than building stuff. So, but a little bit different audience. I think it'll be good to see the two groups mix.
Yeah,
That'll be the first one on the first day. Then we'll finish off on a diner. And from what my buddy Bill had said, who he lives in the area, he'll be competing this year for the first time ever. And he said that the diner's a vibe, and it's super cool. Open 24 hours. So if you're getting there late, get a bite to eat, get a cup of coffee, take a break. At the rush to be like, oh, I want to get a sandwich before we get back on the road. So I think that's a pretty good one. Trying to think what else. I know the last one is a barbecue location that supposedly has phenomenal barbecue. In fact, I think someone just bragged about it today, on how good it is. That'll be the final stop on Thursday. Trying to think what else we had.
like
There's a
leading
train
railroad
museum.
area. Yep.
Yeah, train museum, Eastwood Company. They were, again, easy place, get in, get out, highly visible. We kind of look at that as you have a swarm of cars. Let's make sure we can do it safely.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. How do you run 300 cars, 350 cars through the parking lot?
Yeah. No, that's I know. The ice cream place last year was great to get ice cream, but it was a little crowded.
Yeah. Yep. And it looks like we got American Speed Center of York.
Yes, interesting story. So the owner, 18 years old back in the day, and didn't want to go to college, didn't really have any job prospects, and sees an ad in Hot Rod Magazine for a franchise for this speed shop. And whatever it is, 40 years or 35 years later, he's still operating it and doing well. And he's super excited for us to come through.
And
That's pretty cool.
Looks like we got an air museum as well.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And then
again, trying to mix it up, trying to see some different things, not the same old, just a parts manufacturer, or, just try and have a variety for folks to enjoy.
Yep. And then obviously finishing with the barbecue restaurant. So
totally looking forward to that.
Yeah, man. What any idea on what style of barbecue it is? Like, is it like Memphis, Kansas City? Is this like a Maryland style barbecue?
I should have expected this. Look, I'm a guy from New York. To me, barbecue's barbecue.
Fair enough. Well, I grew up like an hour north of Memphis, and now I live 3 hours south of Kansas City. So it's like
it's Memphis style.
Oh, perfect.
Yep. Red Hot and Blue barbecue restaurant specializes in Memphis style barbecue, ribs, pulled pork, turkey, all that good stuff. So
I'm in. like being home away from home.
There you go.
It beats the monster and beef jerky that Kevin Diassi and I live on all week long.
Right.
Yeah. That's, man, I'm not looking forward to that again. The gas station food and 4 hours of sleep a night. Yeah, bring it on if we got to do. That's the way it is. Well, dude, what are you most excited about?
Just seeing everybody, and I say this all the time, right? You do this long enough, especially what the three of us do, and getting together with your friends, and that's the big part, I think, for me, is everybody having a good time, safe racing, and the racing will take care of itself, right? And people know what to expect from that, and it's a really good program, but it's just getting to spend quality time with friends, meeting new people, seeing acquaintances and getting closer to them. And that's always fun, right? Let's see what you built. Let's see what you've been working on. And coming together is just, it's the people, man.
Right. And I think one of the cool things about like Drag Week, especially, is there's folks that have been doing this forever in the same car. Steve Eden comes to mind, like 17 events they've done in that Nova. That's pretty cool. Ian Hogshead and Tom Hogshead in their Nova. I don't know why Nova's driving my brain right now, but Oh, who's the guy in the stick shift Fox body?
Jeff
He's won,
Sias.
no, he's won a ton.
Oh,
Kurt Johnson.
yes.
No,
No, he
yeah,
didn't. No, Kurt. Yes.
no,
Does he have a
Steve
stick?
Johnson. Steve Johnson. Kurt Johnson. I don't know. With the Flames, I thought it was a stick shift car.
Okay. Yeah, that car. Yeah. No, I'm thinking of somebody else.
Yeah, that's me. But yeah, guys that have been doing this for a long time, like a lot longer than I have, obviously. But to see those historic cars that have done it a bunch and just the stories that those guys have, man, it just makes me want to wear around a microphone all day and just record that stuff. Because a lot of times those guys won't get on camera, but you can get a couple beers in the parking lot and suddenly everybody wants to talk.
Yeah, and you've got these big groups, right? Like Frank Romano and all his
Mhm.
guys. Glenn Hunter and seeing the groups, right? And it's just like you're out with your boys, having fun with your cars, and that's always a good time. And being so close to home, I've got a bunch of my friends from New York, New Jersey coming down bringing cars, so it'll be good. It'll be fun.
Yeah. Who did you mention that was coming for the first time doing their first event?
Who was it, man? I got so much on my mind right now.
Bill something.
Oh, Bill Toomis. Bill Toomis.
Okay.
I don't know if you guys know Bill. He
Mhm.
worked at a Mustang parts company for many, many years. He's over at turned 14 right now.
Okay.
Longtime Mustang guy. If you're into Mustangs and on YouTube, then odds are you know who Bill is. Great guy. I just saw him at Woodward last month, which is always good. He's super excited. Lives in the Harrisburg area.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
It's always exciting to get to see people come in, do their first event, and watch them get hooked after that.
He says it's just, always wanted to experience it, and this will be the year. And it's just like, I know that's not going to be the case.
Yeah. This will be your first year, friend.
Yeah.
And I think that is one thing that's great about Drag Week is you guys have always moved it. It's always been somewhere different. There's not, it's not a set 4 tracks that you run around on all the time. Now that's great in that sense for those events, but I like that Drag Week moves around. We'd love to see you guys towards Route 66 in 2026. I'm just saying.
Yeah, no, I enjoy, looking at, I keep all the records for everything. So, we list the tracks, we track everything. And, I like putting a new track on that track list that we maintain. And, to me, that's fun. I think the racers do enjoy that as well. Just explore new facilities. This year we have 2 new ones to our schedule, but, like I've never been to New Media. This will be the first time.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to seeing that place. So, I've heard about it for many years from a lot of Division 1 racers. So looking forward to getting out there. Maple Grove, such an incredible, track, and for us to be able to go there, especially right after the national event, they're working hard to get a place cleaned up and ready for us, which is cool.
Gonna be Tim Gorley's first Drag Week, which is cool. That's
awesome.
Gonna be my co-pilot and the photographer for the week. He's Go Fast Photography is his company. I'm sad Eric's got to stay at home, but man, if I got to have a co-pilot, Tim's going to be a good one.
Yeah. No, you live with this person for a whole week, man. And it's it changes people.
4,500 miles. We were figuring it up that him and I are going to cover together.
Wow.
in 9 days. Wow. You start looking, you're like, damn.
I would think over the last 3 years that I've been with this with Hot Rod, I would think Kevin Diassi and I have to be the miles we have logged. I don't know if you guys have met Kevin, but he does a lot of our photography work. He's kind of like the new Wes Allison. Wes is retired, and we've put some miles on with each other. It's fun.
Oh yeah.
Derek Putnam just messaged me. Stephen Willingham was the car I'm thinking of, but Kurt Johnson.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Won all the stuff. Yeah. Stephen Willingham's the car I'm thinking of, but Kurt Johnson won his class 10 times. I think he's the winningest drag week racer or something like that.
No, and A&D Hot Rod Shop. These guys are great. He and his wife. We do power tour with them, and they help us out with quite a bit of stuff on the planning and organizing side, especially with the routes and the maps and Google and all that. They're experts on it. So looking forward to seeing them out there and their first drag week.
Yeah.
Power tour converts.
bring it on. I think we've talked about that. Maybe last time you were on the show was the conversation of, can we get a small drag and drive within Power Tour? If you're going to be hitting some drag strips, could we work that in? Just a 3-day deal.
It's I'd love to do that at some point.
It's just too. I can't imagine trying to wrangle 6,000 people.
Well, think about it with 8,000.
No way, dude. No way.
Yeah, and not everybody takes advantage of the opportunity to race on the track is included in your price tag. But I think we had probably upwards of 300 cars at Route 66, which is our biggest single day ever with Power Tour. So we get a good amount, but a lot of them are just more of a test and tune style.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just open for when folks want to go. And for a lot of it, it's for a lot of those guys and girls, it's just the simple fact of making a pass at a track that you've never been to. I think that's what I love about drag and drives. It gives me a reason to go somewhere I would never decide I'm going to go on a Thursday. I'm not going to go, hey, let's drive to Maryland and go drive around to some tracks and go home, So,
yeah, and I think that's what we're trying to do is have that experience of meet new folks, new tracks, see new parts of the country.
Yeah,
there are parts of the country that that we've driven through between Power Tour and this that you just in a normal life you wouldn't do it.
Yeah, at all. Yeah, if I'm going somewhere on vacation, I'm on the interstate at 87 miles an hour. Like I'm on a back road at 57 miles an hour for 3 hours. I love it.
Yeah.
That's what I love about it. Just big shout out to Steven here saying it'll be his first and his mom's going to be his co-pilot. That'd be cool. Big shout out to my mom. If she wants to come on, let's go, lady. I'm ready. And then, first drag week, great father and son trip. Yeah, tell him.
We see those stories so often, and it's so good, right? So many first timers. It's great to see.
Yep. I think that's one cool thing about what really truly has been built with this entire community is that, man, everybody is welcomed. And then it's also at the same time, like everything is open. Like nobody's in your way. Nobody's getting mad at you for being in the wrong spot at the wrong time. It's like, come on, let's all go.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Well, sir, I'll see you in a couple days, dude.
I know. Doesn't seem like it. I got a lot to do between now and then, but
yeah.
But yeah, I look forward to seeing you guys. Well, sorry, Eric. We'll catch you at the next one.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, safe travels to everyone, and we'll see everyone at Maryland International Raceway on Sunday.
Man, it's so crazy. Yeah, we've got a 20-hour drive starting Saturday morning as early as we can from Tulsa, Oklahoma. Me and Tim going to be hauling them up. We may stop at Mo Party on the way through, actually. So we'll see.
Yeah, I'm pulling out on Saturday morning at 7 a.m. Picking up KJ. One of our staffers. His mom lives near me. We KJ and I grew up near each other. So he's out here visiting his mom, and so I'm going to grab him, stop at an Italian deli on the way, grab a couple of good bacon, egg, and cheese sandwiches, a bunch of good, the Godfather Hero, which is legendary. Grab a bunch of those, and then just, I don't know. Maple Grove is on the way to MIR, so I think we might pop into the national event, get a little bit of nitro, and then just keep going.
Oh, man, dude. So cool. So cool. All right, Mike. Thanks a bunch, buddy. We appreciate you coming on here.
Look forward to seeing everyone. Thanks for having me.
Yep. See ya.
Dude, how cool is that?
It's always cool.
Like network director of Hot Rods on here talking to us about Drag Week, man. It's pretty awesome.
I agree.
Well, listen, just want to say thanks to Molly Motorsports for their work here with us, and then Molly Motorsports Power Pack piston kits take out all the guesswork. No more trying to determine if a piston will need this ring to work with a certain cylinder size. Molly Motorsports did all of the engineering so you can get to the part that matters. Building a power plant that leads to Victory Lane. Flower plant. I think that's what I said. Visit mollymotorsport.com for more details. Molly spelled M-A-H-L-E. All right, let's run into some Driven Racing Oil event updates, and then we'll bring on Fast Act Racing as we talk about these events.
Perfect. Driven Racing Oil is the performance engine oil that can do it all. GP1 is the ultimate oil for any race or performance application, whether you're launching hard at the drag strip, enduring the extreme heat of off-road and circle track, or even pushing limits in top field drag boats and demo derbies. Winning racers choose GP1. compatible with engines from classic hot rods to cutting edge race machines. You can follow Driven at Driven Racing Oil on Facebook and Instagram. That's going to tell you what events they're going to be coming up to. In case you want to run into those guys, maybe buy some stuff, ask them some questions, you can do that. Or drivenracingoil.com is where you can go pick up your oil or any of their other amazing products. But make sure you use code DDR10. That will get you 10% off of everything on their website.
Boom. Love it. Love those guys. Been talking to Bill a bunch lately. I'm glad of some things they've got coming out. If you're not following them on YouTube, you need to be doing that big time because they got some cool stuff happening. All right. Starting already, actually, Outlaw Armageddon. Oh, no. We're going to talk about it in a minute, I guess. Outlaw Armageddon Dragon Drive. Dude, this is a big deal.
Yes,
This
it
art,
is.
whoever created this artwork's a beast.
He's a monster. I don't know.
Just to get stuff done. They're doing tech right now. Like they're halfway through tech right now. So early
That's
tech, I
awesome.
guess. Yeah. And then they're going to do some tech to wrap up in the morning. And then they're going to run 9 to noon. 2 classes, DYO and Outlaw, do $200 buy-in, 100% payback.
All their classes are 100% payback. Plus, a lot of them have cash on top too. So
Yep.
it's gonna be really cool, really fun. Obviously, first time doing a Dragon Drive, so excited to see how that turns out. Obviously, they got a couple veteran Dragon drivers helping put that together, so it's gonna be awesome. And I'm glad that you're gonna be able to stop by and check that out at least for a little bit before you take off.
Yep. So the plan is I get the rental car at 9 a.m. to Friday morning, and then I'm driving from here to Joplin to pick up Tim, and then we're both going to Tulsa, and then we're going to stay there and stay up till they finish racing that night, and then we're going to get in the car, SUV, whatever we get, and drive 20 hours to Maryland. So it's going to be it'll be my first Outlaw Armageddon.
Yeah, well, I tell you what, it's a ton of fun. Obviously, while I was doing this artwork for these guys, I had sent them some pictures. Going through my closet, found Outlaw Armageddon 3 and Outlaw Armageddon 5 T-shirts in my closet.
Wow.
So that was kind of cool to see. So
How
again,
cool.
for me, this event really kicked off my interest into drag racing. So it was cool to kind of come back around and be able to work with those guys on some artwork. It was pretty awesome.
Well, and to be able to do that, and then also, now look at the stage that they're going to put these Dragon Drive guys in front of is pretty cool.
Yeah, there's going to be tons of traditional drag racers, and they're going to be looking over going, I could probably drive my car on the street too.
Yeah,
So,
or they'll go, man, that other car we were going to build into an all-out drag car, man, maybe we put a big radiator in it and drive it on the street. So
yeah.
I don't know. I'm kind of excited for them to be involved in all that. So big shout out to Felicia and Aaron Smith, and I want to wish them the best of luck this weekend. And then, of course, Drag Week next week, September 14th through 19th. It doesn't get any closer. It's 3 days from now, 4 days from now, starting. Going to be crazy. We just talked to Mike Galimi about how awesome this event's going to be. And then, of course, the last event we're going to talk about tonight is Redwood Rally. And big shout out to Jesse Fox, who's going to drive from Drag Week all the way out to Redwood Rally in Medford, Oregon.
How many hours is that driving?
Dude, I think if he can do it in 40, yeah, I think if he can do it in 40, I think that's a pretty respectable time, to be honest.
That's wild.
Yeah, I think it's 2,800 miles. Hold on,
I'll look at it. That is wild.
Yeah. And this will be like what, the 3rd year for Redwood Rally?
Yes, I believe so.
Man, it just continues to grow. Hang on, I'm almost there.
I know it's another one that we've talked about. How do we get that one on our list? How do we get there to that? Because that'd be a ton of fun.
It's definitely on our list for 2026. We're gonna have to skip one event so we can afford the flights and rental car and stuff. I think that may be, unless we can pick up some more sponsors. It's 2,860 miles, by the way Google tells you to drive.
Whew.
From Maryland International Raceway to Medford, Oregon.
Man.
So listen,
that's gonna be and to think about that, how many cool places is he gonna stop along the way? Well, I guess how much time does he have between there? Is it a week?
So no. So we'll be done on the 19th that night with awards and stuff. So he'll probably leave before the awards, but then Redwood Rally starts the 22nd. with early tech.
Oh man.
So it truly runs the 23rd through 27th. So he really only has the 20th and 21st and most of the 22nd if he wants to make early tech.
Man.
So yeah, he's got to cover a minimum of 1,200 miles a day.
Yeah, so he's not going to be stopping and hanging out anywhere.
No.
He's going to be bombing across.
Yeah, that is for sure. And the way the route shows, he's going to go up through Chicago. Looks like he'll come right by your place, Nebraska, Wyoming, Idaho, and Oregon. No, Wyoming, Utah, Nevada, and then Oregon.
Wow.
Yeah. So pretty crazy. I mean, and it takes a special person to do that.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah. So
and
if you
that
guys
gives him no time to really edit in between either.
No, so he'll be doing daily video type stuff. So if you guys want to, hey, we're asking you, please go support Jesse Fox and 3G Video. Buy photos from him, whatever, send him money, whatever you can do to help him. I mean, 2,800 miles at 20 miles a gallon is 140 gallons of fuel. At $3 a gallon, $420 just to drive across to get out there.
Yeah, not even to get back home or wherever he's going next.
Yeah. So this is part of his 7-month plan to be, out on the road. Basically him and Benny, they've been everywhere, man. It's been pretty cool. We need to have him on soon as well. We'll get to see him at Drag Week some. So listen, I'm just telling you, Jesse Fox is awesome. Redwood Rally, dude, it's going to be so crazy. And I think the last 2 years, the quickest 8th mile pass has been run at Redwood Rally.
Interesting.
I want to say it's they've laid it down twice. So
I believe you're right.
Pretty cool. That's an award we give away in the Drag and Drive Awards, which is coming up December 11th at 11 a.m. at room 235 in the PRI conference rooms there. Yeah, Buckeye Skips has dedication. Yeah, Jesse's an animal. Jesse is an animal for sure. I think that's all for the event stuff. If you guys want to see all of the events, now we're up to 50 events on Drag and Drive stuff. That's not even really including like Drag and Drive adjacent stuff. We're up to 50 events worldwide. You can find that at dragdriverpete.com/event list-2025. But I've also begun building out the 2026 schedule as well. And we're already up to 9 events in 2026 with the inclusion of streetcar bragging rights, because that has a ton of Drag and Drive racers in it. So we know events will happen in 26. We just don't know the dates. But I haven't even started including those yet. The ones we know will happen, but don't have dates. I haven't even started on those. So, anyways, we appreciate everybody that jumps over there and looks at that all the time. And then thank you so much to Driven Racing Oil for the support. And I can't wait to see them and hang out.
Are they going to be at Drag Week?
No, sadly. Yeah, that's okay though. I'll survive this time.
Yeah.
Well, Driven Racing Oil's GP1's unique surface cleaning and high zinc formulation ensures superior wear protection, particularly for flat tappet camshafts, while solving issues like cylinder washout with methanol, and ethanol fuels. Dude, I don't know why I'm tongue-tied tonight. Crafted from legendary Bradford, Pennsylvania base oil and enhanced with state-of-the-art additive packages, GP1 offers the best in protection and performance. Find it, again, drivenracingoil.com and Driven Racing Oil on your favorite social media app.
Yep. And don't forget, code DDR10 gets you 10% discount everything on their website.
Oh, yeah. All right. J-Wire Solutions, who's backstage, they're your expert car and marine and sandrail and drag and drive car wiring solutions that you can trust. J-Wire Solutions can wire and plumb your hot rod, race car, drag and drive car, whatever you got. Plus, they offer products to make your driving experience better, like the blinker module that is a must for all drag and drive cars. The module will allow your rear turn signals to continue to function while the brake pedal is applied, just like your stock boring daily driver does. This is what you need when you rewire that car. Or you can just send it to Jay, and he probably puts that in every drag and drive car that he builds. But before we bring Jay and Brian on, who run Fast Act Racing, I do want to talk about the Outlaw Armageddon. I know we talked about it just a second ago, but Felicia and Aaron Smith, big shout out to them. This is their first drag and drive event to host. She's hosted a ton of like track days and other events and things. This one here looks like it's going to be awesome. And I wish we could get to Tulsa earlier on Friday. I wish I could go tomorrow, but I just can't make tomorrow work. Because I got too much stuff to get ready for being gone 9 days. So good luck to them. I'm excited. We'll see them on Friday. We'll do a catch up live stream, and then also we'll catch up and I'll record a lot of the drivers' reactions and all that kind of stuff. And obviously being the 10th one, this is going to be a big deal. With the traffic we're seeing on Tulsa Raceway Park page, it's crazy. There's going to be tens of thousands of people, I think, at Outlaw Armageddon based on what we're seeing. So should be pretty awesome and give a good insight into the drag and drive cars, and let those guys have a good opportunity to talk to some racers that have maybe never even heard about a drag and drive. All they see is Street Outlaws, and that's who they're coming to see at the show. But then they run into these cars that have license plates and all that stuff on it. So should be pretty fun. I'm excited. Well, let's bring Fast Act Racing on here. Don't say anything bad. You're on TV.
I was talking about food I made last night.
Oh, nice. Well, guys, if you don't know, this is Brian Acton on the left, Jay Blanchard on the right. The team coming in for Street Race Small Block Power Rider at Drag Week for your 19th time at Drag Week, I think. At least 5th time at Drag Week? 4.
4 with the Nova.
Yeah.
21 was our first year with the Nova. 21 was our first year with the Nova.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah.
I got him on the math. Yeah. I'm here for you.
I'm straight.
Well, you guys are loading up, getting the car ready. And since you're going to be doing that, I mean, why not come on here and tell us what's going on? Tell us what changes you made. I know you were on just a couple weeks ago when we did the 850 panel, but I mean, dude, we got to touch base. You're loading the car up and you're together.
It's leaking fuel everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah. How would you like that as we were putting in the trailer?
Brian's like, I think there's fluid under my car. And I'm like, sweet, I get to pull a fuel tank out tomorrow.
Oh, dang.
Better than on day one.
Yeah. I have a welder at my shop. Unlike, the last time we fixed it was a CVS pharmacy with a JB putty weld.
Nice. Did you have to go through and get all of that off this time? Is that still on there, correct?
No, we fixed it right after because I actually welded it back up the time before. And we changed, we kind of made like a suspension system of foam underneath it. The last time we had it out, we did some Delrin and foam and whatnot. And it's been good for 3 years.
Yeah. This is the third time though that it's cracked.
This is the third time it's cracked, but this is the longest we've gone between cracks.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, does that become like regular maintenance? For folks at home that are watching,
I don't want to weld the gas tank just to weld the gas tank. I mean,
well, right. But dude, how many street miles on that car? 30, 40,000?
18,000 realistically.
Probably 18.
Wow.
With that fuel cell in it.
Man, that's crazy.
And the aluminum is really thin. It's thin gauge aluminum. So and
it's a 15-gallon cell. So you put 15 gallons in it, 7 pounds per gallon for alcohol-based fuels. It's 105 pounds of fuel in there.
Yeah.
And
you're driving, and they're not made for that.
I don't think so. Yeah.
Yeah. The vibration is the fatigue, limits of aluminum are horrible. Really, a plastic cell is almost better, but they just don't look as good.
Right. You can't polish a plastic.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think this actually cracked at the circuit, Mike.
Wow.
TJ and I noticed a little fuel at Tulsa. And then I cleaned it up and I didn't see it again. So I just assumed I spilled.
Mm-hmm.
But I've been smelling it. And we think the foam we put around it actually had it captured.
And the fact that it's been hot as blazes in Michigan. And so it's more likely to evaporate.
Yeah.
And then finally we get nights where it's down into the 40s. And Brian's shop is cooler during the day because it gets cold overnight. And so you're I think it's the foam is capturing it. And then I think the evaporative properties have left the building, with the cooler weather. And so now we're seeing it.
That's so interesting. Who would have ever thought you'd be worried about the welds on a aluminum gas tank in a drag and drive car? You just wouldn't think about stuff like that,
Well, ironically, I think about it every single time we go over a big bump.
We probably don't have time to do it tomorrow, but what we probably should do, because we try to build a better mousetrap every time, is we probably should weld like angle aluminum around the entire bottom perimeter of it.
So like do like essentially like a weld the gap up and then lay angle and then weld that up. Yeah.
And have it sitting on like 1/8 inch aluminum angle
Yeah.
around the whole. I think that would maybe
That's a pretty good idea.
I'm not doing that tomorrow.
Yeah. So tomorrow
I have to pump 10 gallons of fuel out of the cell and find a home for it, and then fill it with water so I don't blow my shop up.
Yeah.
And then drain the water out of it, and then dry it out, and then get the water out of the crack that's there so it doesn't get all hocus pocus in my face. And yeah.
he did tell me he's been laying dimes on the aluminum welding.
I was like, I did weld
So-
some aluminum this week and it
I'm-
looked pretty good. So
I'm
I
excited.
think
Nice.
okay.
even though you'll never see it on the bottom. But
Yep.
You'll know it's there.
yeah.
You got
Because I
those.
had
You got to
nothing
take
to
those
do in
pictures.
the next 2 days.
I'm telling you. When do you guys roll out? Saturday morning?
Yeah, early.
Nice.
If Kyle's watching, he said he's leaving at 5:00. He said maybe we'll see us, and I'm like, I know that guy drives 5 miles an hour faster than I am, and if he's leaving at 5, there's no way that we're catching him.
Catching that dude. Man.
Do you guys still run foam in the gas tanks?
Nope.
Never have.
Okay.
No.
That was one of the things that I learned a couple years ago. It had disintegrated in my fuel cell.
Yeah,
And
I hear
ended up
more about-
everything.
I hear more about foam disintegrating than I hear about it doing benefit.
Mhm.
That's an air motive cell in the car, and they have like a box around the pump. And this, I'm going to run out of talent here a little bit, Brian. And then there's a small like 1/4 inch gap on the bottom, and then there's holes in the back on the sides.
Mm-hmm. Kind of backfill it.
So-
It's got a little bucket that kind of traps fuel under acceleration, but it's an in-tank. It's a design for an in-tank pump. So, you know, it's kind of, it doesn't have the sump hanging
What do
up
they
the
call
bottom.
that? It's not a sump. What do they call that when it's
Well, you'll hear like the term like trap door, but that's actually like where like a door will like swing open and then close under but like you'll hear like the term bucket
Yeah.
is very common because like in a stock application, the fuel pump will actually sit like in a spring loaded bucket that's designed like if there's any variation in the manufacturing process, it's spring loaded so it buries itself down on the bottom. And then the other thing too is that the way this cell and cell should be set up is the return line goes all the way down and it's within like, 3/8 of an inch, half an inch of the bottom, but it returns itself back into the bucket.
Yeah.
So it's always trying to continually anything that's not being consumed is refilling that spot. And the sending units in the front, so like on the data log, I'll see fuel level go to nothing because the rush of fuel hits the back wall of the cell, so there's really no risk of us ever like cavitating the pump or picking up an air pocket or anything. But you watch fuel level go down to nothing or 5% or something like that. And I mean, clearly the thing's not out of fuel. We run like there's the top of that bucket. We run fuel right to the top of that bucket line, which is about 2/3 of the way up. So roughly 10 gallons or thereabouts is what
That's
we're running
awesome.
for fuel. So
do y'all track fuel temp?
funny. You know what I should do tomorrow?
Yeah, we want to.
Well, we've talked about it like a couple of times and it's wired for it. Imagine that. And then the last time I had it out, I was like, oh, it's all done. And I put a little polish on it. And then we put it back in the car. It's like, oh, damn, I should have put a fuel temp sensor in it. So I'm most likely going to put a bung in it tomorrow. Thank you, Mike, for the reminder.
Well, the only reason I thought about that is because the guys at Rocky Mountain struggled one year with vapor lock stuff, right? Because the fuel was so hot. And I just wondered with you running the fuel basically, an inch from the pickup, if you would run into some of that with some of the heat. I mean, I don't think we're going to have that struggle next week, but
Careful because we run it quite high, actually, Mike.
Oh, gotcha.
We don't run it low. We run it like a right almost near the top of that bucket.
Oh, yeah, never mind.
And then what we try and do is when we leave the track, we'll try and be full or we'll be within say 50 miles of a E85 stop. And then the goal is to do 100-mile runs. Pulling a trailer, we get roughly 10 to 12 miles per gallon, depending on if it's 50 mile an hour or 70 or 30. And then the plan is that there's never less than 5 gallons in the cell because that's a piece of data we don't know.
Yeah.
You know, the fuel's getting hotter, the pump is getting hotter because the fuel is recirculating faster. But temperature is something we don't track. It's one of those things where you can there's a good side and a bad side to having a lot of data.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, we're setting the car up for EGTs and we've been working on that process. And I said to Brian, I said, if I put EGTs on this car and they're like 100 degrees hotter than like what we read on the internet that they're supposed to be, I'm like, we're not changing a damn thing. I'm like, this car's been 790s and we haven't heard it. I'm like, I don't care if it says they're 1580. I'm like, this is exactly where the thing needs to run.
Yeah. And I think that's where me and you get along so well, is because like I love that data. I love the knowledge that you can grab from it, but man, that is such a hard process. Because like now, like, oh my gosh, now we're worried about EGT temps. Like we weren't before, you know,
Right.
it wasn't a thing. We were, oh man, why is this one 22 degrees warmer than the other one, you know? So
yeah, if everything was within 22 degrees, I'd be like, we are like dialed, you know, like there's it takes a lot of work, effort, and energy to get to that point. But
yeah, I got a logic complaint with my wiring guy. So my car has ambient air temperature, but not fuel temp. Like what's more useful?
is it ambient?
Well, ambient air temp was like a $6 sensor, and it didn't require us to take the fuel cell out again.
We need you to move that inside the car. That's what we care about, is the ambient air in the car.
Yeah, hot.
Yeah. 91 outside, 117 inside.
Yeah.
So where's the best location to put the fuel temp sensor at?
I'm gonna probably put it near the front of the cell, just from an aesthetics perspective. I don't really care about it during a run, you know. So like if fuel runs away from it and we get some erroneous data during the pass, I know that that's not what's gonna like be a catastrophic thing. So I'm gonna probably run it up near the front. I think, you know, under like normal driving conditions, like you've got a it's a uniform mixture of fuel temperature. It's not like there's a chance that it's a little bit warmer in the bucket, but I don't really want to like put a bung like right in the back of the cell. So you open it up and it's like, oh, there's my temp sensor. Like it's, you know, there's a balance between like making a go fast car look good. And like, I like to think that we're like a 9.5 on the performance level and we're like a 8.2 on the aesthetics. And that's not only Brian's car, but that's just how we try and run our business too, you know? So like, I think there's a lot of people and companies that can wire a car and it works. And I see some stuff and I'm like, I don't know how this has burned to the ground when it comes into my shop. But clearly it drove itself into my shop. And then, you know, there's a lot to be said about making something aesthetically look good as you start to like fill an engine compartment.
Well, and I think once you have a car for a little while and you can go back through some of that stuff, like the rear lighting of the old truck is horrendous, right? It's just this big loop. I didn't have time to cut it. We were just trying to get ready. You know, now it's time to go back and fix that and make it look nice and put connectors in and all that kind of stuff. But you can't do that if you're building a new car every time.
Yeah. Well, and that's the other thing too. And I think we've been on the show and talked about this before. You know, Brian talked about like right before drag week. No, right before Roadkill Nights last year, like Brian fired the car up on a Tuesday night and the input shaft was broken. And that was because we broke the ring and pinion like 6 weeks prior to that. And then happenstance the way it worked out, we got it all back together. And Brian's like, I have all the neutrals because the input shaft was broke. Like he took the trans out in 42 minutes by himself on a hoist.
That's awesome.
It was the same thing that took us 2.5 hours 2 years ago at Bristol
on our back. Yeah.
On our backs. But the same thing can be said about putting an engine in for the second or third time. The cooling lines are, you know, all the lines are made for the radiator and all the fuel lines are made to length and all that kind of stuff. And that's really like that last 10% stuff that takes 80 to 90% of the time because, you know, you make an AN line and as crazy as this sounds, we make an AN fitting and I'm like, damn, that's like a quarter of an inch too long. Like the AN fitting's coming back apart and we're cutting a quarter inch out of the hose.
Yeah.
Like, because
it's just quarter inch too short.
Yeah. And then it's taut and it looks even worse, you know, but I mean, if you have like a series of like in all the stuff we do for map signaling and all that kind of stuff, we do everything with -4AN. And so, like, I mean, you have like 3 or 4 lines and you want them all to like run in parallel with each other or something like that. And it takes an eye for it. And it might take you 25 to 30 minutes to make one -4 line. And, you know, there's 10 of them in the engine compartment, you know, so.
Right. Yeah. That's one thing that is the hardest part about building cars, especially for people, is because when you send that text on a Monday, hey, you know, oh yeah, this week we're working on your car. We're gonna, you know, we're gonna do some plumbing and we're gonna do some wiring. And people are like, oh, cool. You know, then you hit them at the end of the week with 31 hours worth of billing. They're like, dude, I thought you were doing some wiring and plumbing. You're like, he worked on it all week. He still got 60 hours for the next 2 weeks. Get ready.
Welcome to my life.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. But man, I'm telling you, whenever you open that door or the hood and it looks like what the stuff you build looks like, man, it just makes such a difference.
Yeah, and again, I didn't come out here to make this about JY or anything like that. So,
I know.
I mean, yeah, it's just
the whole reason you're on tonight, we were just going to talk about you loading the car up,
and then we got on the fuel cells leaking.
Yeah, right.
See,
that let us
like,
down.
Here's John Mayer, like he's just says, just pay it, LOL. Like, so I'm John's first Dragon Drive event. He finished in 3rd place. Like, kudos to John. He's a customer of mine. You know,
he was leading after day 1.
He led go after day 1 of Drop the Hammer, and then and frankly, like, I mean, I'm so humbled by the people that I get the opportunity to work for. I mean, Brian won it, and Roger Wardell, a customer of mine, finished in 2nd, and John finished 3rd. I mean, that's
awesome.
It just, I feel like it's a testament and a statement to what we do and how we do it, and you know, and just the reputation we've built in the West Michigan area. We're expanding a little bit. You know, we have customers from Ohio and Missouri now and Illinois, but yeah,
that's awesome.
So we have a fuel leak in the car. That's like what we need to get back to.
So now the fuel tank's in the back of your truck.
And no, the fuel tank is still in the car, which is now loaded in my trailer.
Oh my gosh! What?
We call our Dragon Drive trailer Scotia.
Nova Scotia.
Nova Scotia.
Nice. I
think my wife actually came up with that.
Yes.
So Scotia and the Nova are in my trailer, and then tomorrow I get to unload the Nova and put it in my shop, and then unload the fuel out of it and all that kind of stuff. Because I have my son's birthday's tomorrow. There's a Hall of Fame induction thing tomorrow. We have birthday for my son on Friday, and then, like I said, I'm not 100% sure on the barometer of when we're leaving on Saturday morning, but it'll be probably early.
Wow.
Sure.
So we typically, when we go to a Dragon Drive, we typically load up a couple days early, just based on his schedule.
And the fact we live 45 minutes away from each other.
Yeah. So the car was just going to sit for a couple days in his trailer till we left, until the fuel leak. So now
I get to work on it.
Do a little bit of work tomorrow. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, cool. Well, I'm excited about Drag Week, dude. This is going to be crazy. You know, we had Galimi on earlier talking about route stops and the routes and all that kind of stuff. So I'm ready, man. There's going to be. I haven't heard from Randy Seward yet if he's coming or not. If his hips are good enough for him to get in and out of the car like that. But updates on that tomorrow. So yeah, it should be crazy. Saw Steve Trans in here. You know, they're going to be there. I mean, it's going to be some hitters, 850 stuff.
Yeah, the 850 stuff, and then the one that Brian and I were talking about earlier. Just like, have you seen the Thrash Goldstone's doing right now?
Oh, dude, what the hell is that guy thinking? Both motors out, bro. Just park the Vet. Don't touch it.
Oh, I think the Vet is parked, and I think that the Javelin is coming with a big leak in it.
So I talked to someone earlier, and they're working on both.
Okay.
Wow. So they're trying to. And
then Steve just posted that Randy's in. So
so that's so cool. Yeah, it's going to be interesting, man. It's going to be a crazy year. There's y'all three, and then is Rick Steinke racing it this year? It's going to be a bunch of
4 or 5 other guys that could show up too that I just don't know. I mean, Alex Carella's always a threat.
He went like 50 with a 0 off the trailer at Bradenton
just like this week or last.
I would say last weekend.
Yep.
He was like, so much for my one and done or something like that. And I was just like,
Mm.
There you go.
Wow, the vet short block is. I wasn't going to say that out loud, but
Brown and still working.
I've heard that the other day. Man, that's crazy. Yeah,
Yeah.
the vet was asked to do 104 to the 60 on its like second real rip.
Yeah.
Were you at US 131 last weekend?
Yeah, because Midwest Promout Series was there.
I didn't get an invite for dinner.
Oh, dude, I didn't eat dinner, man. I would have invited you,
What
but
if
you'd have
someone-
seen me for about 12 seconds.
All right.
Jay and I were texting. We just listen, Jay. Every time we text, we just need to do it on the group chat with Brian.
Oh, we include Brian. Okay.
Yeah.
Then that
Yeah, I was
then he's
gonna
going
say,
to see everything I say about him.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Well, good point.
It sounds like Brian and I need to have our own group chat because we're just left out of everything.
Yeah. Are you coming to Drag Week, Eric?
No, I'm not.
I'm just going to get my
Unfortunately,
scooter when I forget it.
Oh, yeah. You better hope you don't leave it up there this time.
Right.
Dude, that reminds me, I got to work on my scooter tomorrow. I
Yep.
gotta
We
try
swapped the
again.
hard tires on my
We
scooter.
got two now, so we're in good shape
Nice.
for the moment.
That's awesome. All
Um,
right, well, cool. Well, y'all, I can't wait. I'm ready to hang out.
Yeah.
2 days.
Sunday will be a good day.
Yeah.
You there for the whole week, Mike?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. We're gonna.
And you're driving 20 hours starting Saturday morning, I heard.
Mhm. Yeah. So they have Al Armageddon technically is two full days of racing till they have a winner. It's not like qualifying one day and racing the next. It's like 2 full race days. So we'll watch racing, small tire stuff, big tire stuff, all that until somebody gets until there's a winner. And then we'll go to the hotel, edit some stuff, and then Tim and I, as early as we can get up and get in the car, are going to be rolling.
Okay.
So who knows? If they race till 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, we may just stay up and drive. Who knows?
Rowdy.
Yeah. So
So we will see you sometime Sunday midday.
yeah. I don't know, man. Yeah, probably because we're going to try and stop at Mo Party.
Oh yeah, Bowling
'Cause
Green.
there's some friends here from where I live here that are going to be there, and it's like 10 hours into the trip, so I think it'll be a good a break at that point, to get out of the car and stretch our legs from it. And I've never been, and I don't think Tim's ever been, so it'd be kind of cool to get out and hang out. So
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll have Cold Cayman Jacks for you.
let's go. I mean, I like you guys.
Come stop by our trailer.
Yeah.
Hey, if
For
I could
sure.
just take 1 second, Mike, I wanted to share something with your listeners and followers. So, something I do after each drag and drive, I meant to talk about this when we were on the 850 race, but I think it's just good to share with everyone. Is I make a list after every drag and drive of maintenance or upgrades that my car needs, and I put it just in the notes on my iPhone and with bullet points so I can check them off when they're done. And for this drag week deal, I mean, I probably sent Jay a list that had 15 or 20 items, as simple as what not to forget to pack. My car had to have brakes and oil change and, transmission flush. And it just kind of keeps you on point. And it's something that's easy to make, just on your cell phone. And I just think it really helps us get prepared for, what needs to be done where we don't forget something to bring along or just a maintenance item that the car needs. So, I meant to talk about that a couple weeks ago, but I'd make one after every drag and drive. The circuit, I have a pre and post circuit note, and they're in there from 4 or 5 years ago.
And I think the other thing that's beneficial about that is you can look back to it. And then it's also like, it's not the day of that you're packing and you're like, what did I forget? Well, it's like at this point, you've forgotten it. Where if you're like unpacking something, you're like, oh, I better not forget to do this because I'm using this trailer hitch. Haha.
Yeah, we can talk about that.
Yeah, I mean, like Brian used the trailer hitch at 6 Summer and then to move Scotia with his truck and then left the trailer hitch in his truck, and we didn't have a trailer hitch for the Nova when we got to. And then, of course, the one that I have is also the correct drop, but is rusted to beat the band. Thank you, Michigan Salt. And Brian's like, we ain't running that. He's like, well, you're going to run that up to tech because that's how the trailer's going to get there. I'm not pushing the son of a gun up there.
And then we had a friend of ours.
Yeah, Brandon Miller happened to be within like 10 minutes of Harbor Freight.
But now I have $50 into 2 hitches, and I need one.
Yeah, so now we have like 2 2-inch balls on 6-inch drop hitches.
But that's something
that's a great question for the chat there. How many extra 2-inch balls and 4-inch drop do you have for your truck and trailer? Because that happens to me quite often.
Yeah. I mean, kind of frustrating. And the way my safety chains are set up, I mean, the hitch receiver that we use, it's kind of set up for the length of it and everything else. So we had to put a bunch of twists in it. And it was a big inconvenience for something that if it was just on my checklist, I would have thrown it in the trailer. And so now that's been added. So,
and I think the other thing too is like it's stress, and like the way Brian and I run our program, and the way Stephen Dustin and Randy, I mean, like anybody that's competing for a podium, or they've been on a podium, or they've won in the past, or anything like that. Anybody that's doing that, like the undesirable stress that you can make a list and check it off, like that's great, because it's enough stress in and associated around the week that you don't need to be like stressing about forgetting things.
Right.
You know, and I joke, like we get like an hour into the trip and I'm like, well, at this point, if we've forgotten it, we're buying it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because, you know, because that's just how it works. And if you forgot a $400 thing that you need, you're buying it.
Oh,
you know, because you're not turning around and driving 3 hours out of your way to get there later. I mean, it's just, you know.
Yeah, 100%.
So, but that's a really good piece, because you can literally copy and paste it and make a new one and then just uncheck the stuff and just go back through it again.
Yeah, and it works for any level of a competitor. I don't care if you're a first-timer 10-0 guy or a third, you know, it's just it's really helped me with just a routine and just, you know, everything else is stressing out timelines, and you just inevitably forget something that's sometimes simple, but sometimes not a simple deal where you got to spend money or make extra trips to stores.
That's awesome. Look at you dropping bombs on people in here. Appreciate that. Yeah. All right. We're going to kick you guys out of here. Thank you so much for hanging out.
Thanks for having us.
Days. We'll send Eric a selfie and add him to the group chat.
Yes.
All right. Perfect.
I like it.
All right. Good luck, guys.
Yep. See you guys. Thanks.
See you.
How cool, man. Those guys are awesome. I can't wait to hang out with them too. It's going to be a crazy week next week.
Yep.
All right. Again, thanks to J-Wire Solutions for being part of the program here at Drag Driver Pete. We love Jay, and obviously, you know, J-Wire Solutions, they are awesome for all of your wiring and plumbing needs. Look, we're actually longer than what I thought we would be tonight. I thought we would be done by about an hour. So I just want to say thank you guys so much. I know the show is typically 2, but we got a ton of stuff to do. So thank you so much for being our race car friends. Hit the share button one last time. We got a couple things to go over before we wrap this up, and before we have to show up and then get ready for drag week and more photos. Dude, I don't have the AFCO on here either. What did I do wrong? I must not have moved it over. Interesting. Anyways, thank you so much to our sponsors for making all this possible. I mean, without them, we wouldn't be at Drag Week and Six Summer and Rocky Mountain Race Week, and wouldn't be able to do the circuit and all that kind of stuff. Sick Week, you know, all the events we do, 14 events a year, something like that. Wouldn't be able to do that. The equipment we purchase and all that. So if you're shopping, please hit these guys up when you're doing that. We would appreciate that. Summit Racing, Deechworks, Molly Motorsports, Driven Racing Oil, Howard's Cams, J-Wire Solutions, AFCO Racing Products, Performer Built Transmissions, Car Change 3D, WAF Racing, PowerTube TV, Sweet Patina, and Racing Junk Classifieds. For the folks that are watching this, just screenshot that, and next time you go to shop, just look at those guys. And remember, we have discount codes with some of these guys. Just hit us up, let us know. We'll get you in contact with anybody within this group of sponsors and get you right to the source. And of course, the gentleman's agreement is pretty easy. You hit the follow button or subscribe wherever you're at, and we'll keep talking about drag and drive stuff. That's how this agreement works. We can't verify you do it, but hey, that's what makes it the gentleman's agreement. All right. Hit us with some Deechworks stuff, sir.
All right. Deechworks is a leading manufacturer of high-performance fuel system components. The DW product line includes fuel injectors, fuel pump modules, fuel rails, regulators, filters, lines, and fittings, plus surge tanks, all engineered to support power levels ranging anywhere from 400 to 2,200 horsepower. Since its founding, Deechworks has been committed to delivering quality, innovation, and precision in the automotive performance industry. Every DW product is built to maximize reliability and efficiency, ensuring optimal fueling solutions for racers, tuners, and performance enthusiasts worldwide. With a focus on engineering excellence and industry-leading customer support, Ditchworks continues to drive the future of high-performance fueling. Again, code DDR10 with Ditchworks will also get you 10% off anything on their website.
And hey, I just wanted to show. I don't know if no, you're not gonna be able to see this, but it's the checklist that Brian and them use here on the. That's pretty awesome, man. And it's got little check marks and all like it. So I'll screenshot this and post it up on the page later. That's pretty.
That's a great tip. And I mean, you can use that for anything. Like it doesn't even just have to be drag and drive related. If you're about to go on a trip or anything, like checklists are awesome. So I'm glad he shared that tip with everybody because that might help somebody not forget to bring something here coming up.
Yeah, 100%. All right, well, let's talk about Drop the Hammer North Carolina edition. These guys, of course, second event for the year for them. I think it's their fourth event total. Carl Stansel and the team over there just knocked it out of the park. It looked like they had a ton of fun. Sadly, obviously working the Midwest series, it was hard for me to watch all the stuff that was going on because I was so busy there. But this event looked awesome.
Yeah.
Tons of new names within this list here of the entries. I mean, like lots of people that I don't recognize. Now that could be that I haven't dug in as deep maybe this year and all the stuff, but this looks like a big list of a lot of really cool stuff.
Yeah.
So we'll run through the winners here. Looks like the winner of Unlimited, Mr. Casey Banner, the dude that kind of kicked all of this off. He did Drop the Hammer, Michigan, and then was like, hey, man, what if we did one in North Carolina where I live, where he lives? And Carl was like, yeah, let's go. So Drop the Hammer, North Carolina was brought to you by Banner Enterprises. Looks like he ended up with a 7:15 average at 100 miles an hour.
Yep. Then it looks like we got a 28 or 275. The winner of that was Richard Kinnison in a Dodge Dart. And average was a 5.504 at 128. And that I assume would be an eighth mile.
Yeah, everything was eighth mile. In the 545 class, which, hang on, I want to bring Jay and then back on. Oh. Hey, real quick, sorry. Hey, surprise.
I was in the middle of something. Watch it.
Well, for the circuit and eighth mile stuff, is 545 the number if you're trying to run 850?
It is.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, the one year we did it a couple years ago, you had it at 550 when you were at Ozark.
Yep.
Yeah.
We won't have to worry about that this year, but it made me think of it while you guys were still backstage. Okay. Anyways, thank you guys. Appreciate you.
Bye again.
Later. Sorry about that. Just while I was thinking about it, figured I would go ahead and do that. 545 winner, Mr. Cody Thompson. Wow. It's over the 777. Way off.
Yeah, I was going to say, interesting.
Yeah, and second place, Joey, I don't know that last name, Jarks, ends up with an 859.
Dang.
So, yeah, 545 class, man, a lot of opportunity there for records in 2026 if they do this one again.
Right. But in the 6'4", we've got Robert Quinn in with a 6.406. So pretty close there. But second place, Justin, what is that? D-Word is a 6.408. So some real close racing there.
Right. And does that say Joshua Jarks?
Yeah.
Is that a 646?
646, yep. What's weird though is if you look at first place, 6.406, average mile an hour of 108, and then second place, 6.408 with 57.55.
Oh yeah, that's wrong or something. They've got yeah. If you look at the day 2 mile an hour, they've only got 6.9 miles an hour.
Okay.
So I bet that's 106.9.
Okay, that probably makes sense. But either way, a 6.406 to a 6.408 is pretty tight.
Yeah, that's really tight. And then DYO, Stacy Benton there. Is that say point? Yeah, that one. It's real small on my screen.
Oh, I got it blown up. So.
Oh, yeah, that's probably what I should have done. Won't you read the numbers there? Because I'm struggling on that one.
Yeah. So DYO Stacy Betson 0.001 spread.
Dude, that's crazy.
So second place was Carl Stansel himself with a .009. So both of those pretty close. But even if you look through the rest of these, you've got a .012, a .012, a .014, and then a .096 and a .22. So all of those spreads are pretty decent.
Yeah, everybody within less than a tenth. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow. And great job on that stuff. That's it's hard. I want people to understand about this, and I'm talking to somebody in particular that messaged me today about hosting their first event. Your first event's always tough. But after that, it gets easier. Carl knows that from his time in Michigan. Obviously, they're putting in new time in a new area here in North Carolina. So it'll be interesting to see if they stay North Carolina in 2026. Are they going to keep 2 events? All that kind of stuff. So we're seeing these regional events really grow. So, big shout out to him for doing that. We appreciate them as well.
Yep.
Just some photos here. I thought the scooter photo is pretty cool.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody lining up there. And then, again, thanks to the Deechworks team. Thanks to them, dude. They bought 4 of the parking lot beer shirts yesterday, man. It was awesome. That's on the same stack as yours.
Nice. John Mayer said they had 5 first-timers.
How cool, man. That's really cool. And, dude, again, that list looked like a lot of people there. T. German there. I'm at Cherry Point. Cool.
Yeah. Rich Woodward here saying, late start here. Good evening, guys. Trying to get the ride all wrapped up for Drag Week. He, I think, just finished up the EGTs that Jay and Brian were talking about doing on their cars. I think I saw that he just did that on there. And I know he didn't want to, but he ended up putting a trim ring on the front of his Mustang to try to bring down some of those temps.
Wow.
Hopefully that ends up working and helps him out for Drag Week.
Oh, I'm sure it will. And then T. German here says, what's size limits on the trailers? There is no more size limits. Some events may still have size limits, but the only rule now is single axle. So we saw Neil Torbett come the first year that it was just single axle rule. And that thing, I mean, it was a camper basically inside.
Yeah.
So it was pretty awesome. Yeah, it says growing on it. That's cool.
Good deal.
All right. Yeah. Deechworks, hit them up, guys. Any of your fueling system needs. All right. And then Performer built transmissions, man. I can't wait. I get to see the shop, get to hang out with our boy, Ryan Snyder, and all the team up there because he's about 10 or 15 minutes from Numidia Dragway, which is one of the tracks we're hitting next week on Drag Week. Dude, I can't wait for this. It's going to be so cool. And get to go up there and hang out with him and see all the cool stuff. So tell us about that. And then we'll talk about some Rocky Mountain Race Weekend.
Yeah, well, you better send me some pictures of the shop while you're there for sure.
Yeah.
Performer Built is the official transmission builder of Drag Drive Repeat. At Performer Built Transmissions, their goal is to engineer and build the toughest transmissions on the planet. Performer Built doesn't just rebuild transmissions, they systematically re-engineer each model to eliminate OEM flaws and to achieve the highest levels of performance. That is why they say their transmissions aren't just built, they are Performa built.
Well, if you guys have been under a rock, then you know that you didn't know that Rocky Mountain Race Week hosted a regional event, which I've been saying it for a long time. I'm so excited for national level promoters like Matt Frost to come into regional stuff. I think we need to have him back on and talk about his feelings at the end of the week. But dude, I'm telling you, after he did that, did you see the flurry of posts that he was making? All kinds of ideas, all kinds of, I mean, now he's thinking of like a 200 mile or 200 lap, beater car race. I mean, like,
Yeah.
I really think it didn't break him down, which was great. So,
Yeah,
I think going 7 or 9 days, pretty tough.
And the photos on that gorge were incredible. Obviously, I've seen tons of people posting pictures of their vehicle driving across there.
Yeah.
Still probably would have scared me a little bit, but definitely would have been cool to see.
Did you see the one video, the reel of like the person that shows the knot hole in the board and then they go down through it with their camera?
No, I don't think I saw that.
Dude, it had to be 150 feet or 200 feet up. I don't know. It was like, ugh, I don't know. And like, it made me nauseous just looking at the screen as it they started with the whole board and it just was like,
Yeah, I don't know if Dad's watching tonight, but he does not like bridges. So if you get a chance, pops, look up what is it? Royal
Royal
Gorge.
Gorge.
Yeah,
Mhm.
look up that bridge and tell me what you think of that. Because
Oh,
Jan says
oh,
1,000 feet.
1,000 feet. 150, 200. Yeah.
Yeah, it is way up there.
And people drove their cars on that, man.
Yeah,
Scary.
yeah,
Well, we don't have the list of winners yet. I'm sure that's somewhere. I just couldn't find it in time to for the show tonight. So I did grab a few photos. Man, it's just so photogenic out there, dude.
it is.
Ah,
That right there. Look at that.
ah,
And
I
that
mean,
and that
mm,
doesn't show like the surrounding area. Like you just get the cool bridge itself with the flag on top, but what you don't see here is around it is just
yeah,
open.
yeah. It was, man, absolutely intense. I hope this is something that continues. I do love that Matt does 2 events a year, but I think if you did one big, you did one 1.0, technically, and then you did a regional event as your second one a year, I think that's fair enough. Or I mean, dude, at that point, can you fit 2 regional events in with your one national? Maybe they have one early in the season, March or April or May or something like that, and then they also have the big one, and then they have one in the fall. Who knows?
Yeah.
There's so much opportunity left here in the drag and drive community. People don't understand. I'd say it all the time. We haven't even scratched the surface on what this can be, and having somebody like Matt Frost or the Drag Week guys or Bailey and those guys that's sick, to host these kind of events is a big deal, and it helps the entire community grow. So, all right. Well, again, I can't wait to hang out with the Performer Built team. It's gonna be freaking awesome. It's gonna be so cool, dude.
Yeah. Yep.
Um,
I'm definitely jealous of you, no doubt.
yeah, we got to do some planning, but we also got to get you to Sick Week.
Yeah. I mean, there's so many events that I just I don't know. I don't know that
Yeah.
I got this thing, this full-time job. It's really just getting in the way of doing all
Get in
this
the way of
stuff,
your
man.
drag and drive hobby.
You know. You know what we just need? We just need benefits here at Drag Driver Pete. Can we get a benefit sponsor? That's all I need.
I think we need a pay sponsor for you. So, well, listen, dude, I don't know what we're going to talk about next week. Oh yeah, that's right. I'll be at Drag Week, so that's what we're going to talk about next week. So,
Yeah, so you're going to be there. You'll be there Saturday. You'll be there next Wednesday, and you'll be there or somewhere the following Saturday. So
yeah,
it's going to be. I assume that you're just going to be doing a lot of live streams during the event.
Yep. So one thing I did notice was obviously last year at Drag Week and Sick Week both, we had crazy turnout for the Tech Line walk.
Yeah.
So that's kind of my plan. I ordered a microphone handle today because I don't want to be trying to hook up the DJI mic onto people as we're talking to them. So I'm just going to give them the mic handle and let them tell stories about their cars. But I plan to do that again. So 3 or 4 hours live in the Tech Line, talking to people about their cars and all that kind of stuff. Love doing that. That's really kind of where we get a lot of the stories to begin the week. Obviously we're going to be following along with the 850 class very heavily. That's my plan. I want to follow the top 5 in that class all week long, get all their passes, get interviews with them every day, all that kind of stuff. And then, cool stories from there. I want to talk to some slow folks. I want to talk to some folks that are really fast. All the stuff. It's going to be really wild.
Yeah. It's going to be a good time.
Oh man, here we go. Oh goodness. The ultimate coast to coast event is in the make, as I recently heard. A winner take all thing that will rival the Cannonball. Whew.
Interesting.
Definitely won't be in drag and drive cars, but that's another area I would love to dive into. Me and Robert Lee had talked about. He had actually bought a minivan for us to make the run in, and we didn't do it. And that's a trip that every car guy needs to make. The Red Bull Garage to the Portofino. So Jesse Fox will be doing something really close in a couple days.
Right.
So, all right, well, cool, man. Lead us out.
All right. Thank you guys, everybody that's tuned in tonight, everybody watching, everybody commenting, everybody that is right now getting ready for Drag Week. All of you guys, our race car friends, are what keep us motivated doing this. And I hope all of you headed to Drag Week have safe travels. And again, obviously all this is put on and, funded by our sponsors. We appreciate them. We wouldn't be able to go to 14 events. We wouldn't be able to have the equipment we have and everything. So please, if you guys are shopping, check these guys out. And again, we had mentioned we've got discount codes. We can get you in contact with people at each one of these companies. So again, try to spend money with these guys and support the guys that are supporting us. So Summit Racing Equipment, Deechworks, Molly Motorsports, Driven Racing Oil, Howard's Cams, J-Wire Solution, AFCO Products, Performabuilt Transmissions, Car Chains 3D, WAF Racing, PowerTube TV, Sweet Patina, and Racing Junk. Again, thank you everybody, and safe travels to Hot Rod Drag Week.
All right, see you guys. Yeah, we'll have to do